So as we know, there are a lot of survival tips out there. When in a survival situation, any misstep can cause hunger, pain, or even death. The really bad news is that a lot of the survival tips we've learned from movies or TV shows are wrong, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Hey YouTube, I'm Cor McGinley, and welcome back to the most amazing top 5. Sit back, subscribe, and let me entertain you. After watching this video, let me know down in the comments which of these survival myths surprised you the most. Alright, let's get started on our list of the top 5 survival myths exposed. Starting at our number 5 spot, reality shows about survival will help you in the wilderness. Surprisingly, watching shows like Survivor will not help you in real life. Not surprisingly, these reality shows are heavily scripted. A person who worked as a consultant on several shows, including Survivor, said that staff members were told to drag around coolers filled with double espresso shots and sandwiches while filming scenes of the people living off the land. Well, that's disappointing. In at number 4, you should suck the venom out of snakebite wounds. I've always heard this one and I thought it was true, but it turns out a clinical field trial done by researchers at the University of Arizona have proven that you do more damage to the immediate tissue of a snakebite victim by applying suction than if you leave the extremity alone. You're also not supposed to apply ice, a tourniquet, or compression wraps. Turns out the best remedy for snake bites is your car keys. You quickly wash it, cover with a bandage, and rush to the hospital. Turns out of the 6,500 rattlesnake bites that happen in North America each year, only 5 or 6 are fatal. And 30% of rattlesnake bites are actually dry, so you may not have even been poisoned. At number 3, you can drink water from a cactus. Another one I thought was true. I mean, in all the old western movies you see cowboys drinking from cactuses. Turns out these green, spiky plants aren't filled with water, but instead with a noxious fluid that has high levels of alkalis, which if consumed will cause vomiting and a stomachache. So if you're in the desert and suffering from heat exhaustion, vomiting obviously isn't the best way to go. There is one barrel cactus you can drink from, and it's called the fishbook barrel, but only one of the 5 varieties isn't toxic. So if you need to decide to drink from one, you're playing a risky game. Coming in at number 2 spot, you can outrun a bear. Yeah, not true. If you see a bear, your first instinct would probably be to run, right? Well, it turns out that's one of the worst things you can do. Even Usain Bolt himself couldn't outrun a bear. There are different tactics to use on different species of bears. If you cross a black bear's path, you're supposed to hold your ground and try to make yourself look large. For example, opening your coat and waving your arms while you scream. A lot of the time, they are as scared as you are and they will run away. Now, if you cross paths with a grizzly bear, you do the exact opposite. You avoid eye contact, and if the bear isn't moving towards you, then you back away slowly. If it charges you, you're not to move and hopefully have pepper spray on hand. If it manages to make physical contact, then you cover your vitals and you play dead. So yeah, before heading to an area that might contain bears, make sure you know the difference between a grizzly and a black bear. It might just save your life. And in at number 1, you need food ASAP. So many of us have heard or seen in movies, if you're lost in the forest or desert, or if you're in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, then you need to find food as soon as possible. In most cases, this involves you exerting your energy and taking risks to immediately find food. In certain movies, we see people having this mentality, so they are eating things like worms or bugs within just the first few hours because they think that's how real life survival works, when in fact you can survive for weeks on your own body fat alone. As long as you have water, you'll be okay. Yeah, the water one, that's actually true. Conserving energy, avoiding injury, and sourcing a supply of water are key to surviving. Well, there you have it. That's a list of the top 5 survival myths exposed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and I'll catch you in the next one.